Hey friend, Roger Christofferson here again with another first listen review. It has been an awesome day for music. I did a few already today, and I saved this one for the end because I knew I really wanted to give this one a lot of attention, and it's hard to do that during the hustle and bustle of the day when things are going on. And I am talking about Fleetwood Mac and their new release called Rumours Live from 1977. And I say new because according to everything that I can see on this, the only thing that's ever been released before is Gold Dust Woman, and everything else on here has not been released before. So that Gold Dust Woman appeared on some 2020 deluxe collection called Live, which actually I was listening to not too long ago. For some reason I actually had that out. I've been listening to a lot of Fleetwood Mac stuff lately. I got the alternative collection like lives, I got the alternative collection albums, I got the Stevie Nicks box set, and I've been occasionally just going through those CDs randomly back and forth, and I was just actually had to take a Fleetwood Mac CD out of my car earlier to listen to something else that I was going through. So a lot of Fleetwood Mac lately. So this one I was really looking forward to, and it did not let me down. It was at the Fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California. Inglewood, California, if I could talk. I don't even know where to start with this thing. So it starts out with "Say You Love Me," which is a Christine McVie song, which I thought was pretty interesting, and I love that. So I was singing along with it the minute it kicked in, and Christine McVie is so underrated as a singer and songwriter. She actually, I think she's wrote the biggest hits they ever had, if I remember correctly, and sounds great on that song. Kicks in with "Monday Morning," goes right into a beat Lindsey Buckingham song. And it's a funny thing, I've listened to like a lot of live stuff when it comes to Lindsey, you never really know what you're going to get, and what I mean by that is he goes for the notes, almost always goes for the notes, and I'll explain that a little bit, but he just goes for it, whether he hits him or not. Sometimes doesn't matter, it just sounds like he's screaming. Sometimes I'm like, I remember some of those mid-'80s shows I used to see when he went solo there for a little bit, he was just sounded like he was just losing his mind. If anybody's seen any of those shows, they might know what I'm talking about. But he sounds great on this one. He was nailing stuff. Sounded great. I don't know if I'm going to run through every single song on here, but that goes to a Stevie Nicks song, "Dream." So they're mixing it up pretty well as it goes on. And this is back when they're still playing "Oh Well" on their set, and that was track number 4 on here. Love that song. I'm glad they kept that one in there. The majority of this is all from their self-titled album there, and Rumours. And there's only a couple songs they didn't play from the Rumours album here. And one thing I found a little bit odd about that was they didn't play "Don't Stop" in here anywhere, which was like one of their big hits, and they didn't even play it. Of course, I don't know if it was that huge of a hit at the time, but if that came on later after this, I don't actually remember how that all went. But it's funny that they did not play that one. It's actually not one of my favorite songs of theirs, so I wasn't like let down. I just thought that it was kind of strange that they didn't do it. They got Rhiannon, "Oh Daddy," and then "Never Going Back Again." They changed that up a little bit live, added a little bit more to that one, which I thought was pretty cool. And then got "Landslide," "Over My Head," and it ends with "Gold Dust Woman," which I already mentioned. I have actually heard it myself, I don't think, but so that's how the first CD ends with that there. And then perfect. I mean, everything on that was great. I mean, it's live like you want it to sound. Exactly what I would want from a live Fleetwood Mac album, or any live album for that matter. And then CD2 kicks off with "You Make Love and Fun," and this is where it gets a little bit strange. They go right from that into "I'm So Afraid," which is such a weird transition. Love both the songs, but just a strange transition. And then that into "Go Your Own Way," which I'm talking about with Lindsey, just belting it out and nails it though. Into "World Turning," and I love that song. And the middle of it gets a little bit weird here. They just kind of like do a weird drum thing in the center. Excuse me. and then it comes back to the world turning at the end. It seems a little bit loose, but that's the first time I noticed that. And one thing I was thinking about this is it was amazing how tight these guys are, because I'm in my head I'm thinking they've only made 2 albums, but no, this is like after 11 albums, so of course they're tight. They got John McVie and Mick Fleetwood, and them have been playing together for years, and even at this point, Christine McVie joined in '70, so she's been in the band 7 years at this point. So of course they're tight. The only 2 new people are Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. So the rhythm section's tight, of course it does, but it gets a little bit loose in the middle of that song. So that was the first time I actually realized, man, these guys are like really dead on. And then they do a Blue Letter, which I mean, that's a good song. It's not one that anybody in the band wrote, although it's on their self-titled album. It's just a strange song choice. Like I was mentioning, they didn't play Don't Stop, but they chose to do that one. Weird. And it goes into The Chain. The Chain sounds great. That one was like right on. All the intensity and moodiness like you'd want to feel in that song. And then Secondhand News. And what I was saying earlier, when I say Lindsey usually goes for everything, he didn't go for it in this one. At the end of it, they played it safe. And there's a couple points in there. I noticed that, even Stevie Nicks, there's, like in Dreams, I first noticed it there. She kind of played it safe a couple times, but then she belts it out like at other points. So, maybe there's still learning the songs, what they can and can't do with them at this point, because still, you got to think these songs are all fairly new within 2 years. Or maybe 3 if you want to count the writing process and recording process, that these songs, almost all of these are all new to them, so probably still learning what they can and can't do with them live. And then they end with Songbird, and I know they've done that other times, which I just thought it was a strange way to end a show. I mean, Christine McVie sounds beautiful on that song. She plays it, sings it perfect. I don't think she's ever sang a bad note in anything live I've ever heard, ever. Extremely talented, and love that song. Just think it's a strange way to end a rock concert, but that's what they do. And so that's it. That's where it ends. But anyway, really enjoyed it. I actually think I like this better than the actual live album that they released from earlier on in their career. And it's strange that they held on to it for so many years, and the only thing they ever released off it was that one song. So anyway, I'm glad that they finally released it. I loved it. I don't really think they have bad songs. I just really like this band. It's one of the first CDs I ever, or actually it was a cassette, I bought with my own money. Did that Columbia House thing, and I actually paid for it. I was one of the guys that actually paid for the stuff. And this is one of the first 5 that I chose, like way back, and I had my uncle help me pick it out. It was Rumours is the one I'm talking about, picked out. And but I just listened to that album over and over again. So I've got a really long history going way back to my childhood with this band. So anyway, if anybody else wants to say anything they want to share about this, they've heard it, what their feelings are, and as always, feel free to share your comments down below. And as always, share and subscribe, because it really helps people get involved in the conversations. And until the next one, because I do have more today, we'll see you.